Christmas brought so much joy. Couldn't wait for the presents and laughter. I couldn't sleep late at night, looking for Santa with lights. Those are the memories I still remember. Then I became a man, lost sight of who I am, but right in front of me was the answer. 'Cause on Christmas I feel joy, and I turn back to a boy. The answer is to stay young forever. This is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song, this is not a Christmas, this is not a Christmas song.
Ho, ho, ho. Hello, Star Wars fans. You know, there's 161 days until Christmas 2024. And we're here to have our final Acolyte predictions preview for the season, perhaps for the series. We shall find out. You know, there's a question that I want to ask. I'm going to put a poll out here because I want to know. Start a poll. Would you like, right? So here's a question. Would you like more seasons of the Acolyte? I'll put that yes, no, and what should I put? Yes or no, or whatever. We'll just put that, whatever. Okay, so there we go. There's the poll. What do you guys want? Would you like to see another season or more seasons of the Acolyte? Hello, KG. And Fitz Sabersmith. Good to see you as well, my friend. And I saw Dale Skywalker's Academy's here. Mike Yaney. We've got a lot of our regulars here. And you know what? With this show, yesterday, we had our members, our Star Wars Santa supporters Zoom meeting. Some of the folks here were on the call. So Nerd Mafia and Kiaran, he was there. Dale was there. We had a nice discussion. Brent was also there. And we talked about, we also had Mark, forgetting his screen name right now. But anyway, we did a full breakdown of a lot of the leaks, a lot of the rumors for this episode, for this season finale. Robert St. Clair, hello. Good to see you. Brandon, good to see you as well. Mumbo Jumbo, hello to you as well. So we did a full breakdown. I'm going to do some breakdown today too. And I'm going to give you some of my theories about the finale. Now, granted, there are some major leaks out there. Meg covered a number of them Saturday on her show, and she showed there's a guy who she reports on from time to time who gets a number of things right. Not everything right, but he gets a number of things right. And he posted a couple of things. One was like one truth and 5 lies, or 5 lies and a truth. Or I think the other one was 10 lies and 3 truths. Also did a list of things. Which one of these is going to be the opening shot of the show? And he did another one, which is going to be the closing shot of the show, with a number of things listed. So I don't know how much stock to put into those things. Plus, there's a ton of speculation when you start to read through some of these things. Let me just give you an example, right? Let me give you an example of the questions he brought up in the possible closing shots, right? Possible closing shots. This is some things. Oh, the Sabersmith, Lord, please give us some animation. We're slowly dying here. You know, Sabersmith, I am with you 1,000,000%. And there is a ton of speculation about what that animated project might be. Meg did a great video today where she had an interview with the actress that voices Ventress. And very possible we could get a Ventress featured series. Not saying it's a Ventress series, but a Ventress featured series that could possibly have Quinlan Voss as a part of it. What would that be? What would it look like? When is it? There's a lot of options around that. So can't answer those questions. We have to wait. There's also a lot of speculation. There's Yachty. Well, you mentioned animation. Yachty shows up. She loves the animated projects. Me too. Me too. I absolutely love them. They don't get enough attention. Those of us who watch it, we cover it. We love it. But you know, the fandom as a whole just aren't at the same level with animation as they are with some of the other projects. But there's a lot of speculation about additional series of Tales of. So we've had 2 different series of Tales of. There's speculation, some rumors and leaks about additional Tales of series. There's also this Ventress and featured series, whatever form that takes. And I know a lot of us would love to see what happened post Return of the Jedi. I would love to see our original trilogy crew following Return of the Jedi. You get Luke and Han, and Leia, all that stuff. Chillmonger, Tales of Mandalore. Yes, I would absolutely be up for Tales of Mandalore, Tales of the High Republic, Tales of the Scoundrels, Tales of Dexter's Diner, Tales of you could put anything in there. You could do bounty hunters. You could do scum and villainy. I don't know. There's tons of things you could do. No Fits. That's the one we're not doing. We're not going to do Tales of Darth Plagueis. Well, actually, it would be a story that I would be interested in hearing. You guys have got me off topic. We have a show today. In our show today, we're talking about the Acolyte in this finale, right? This finale. You guys got me distracted. So here we go. Let's get into that. Hello, Nathan. Oh, good to see you. Thanks so much. So I was giving you the examples. So there's 6 things listed. Presumably, one of these 6 is in the closing shot. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. We don't know for sure. So here we go. What do you think? What do you think with this episode tonight? The closing shot. And I'm not saying any one of these is right. It's just as possible all 6 of them are wrong. Okay? So don't go too far there. Mike Porter says, don't know when I'm going to watch the Acolyte finale. Other things tonight are more important. Life sometimes steps up and gets your attention. So, Mike, I hope that you have a good evening and that those things go really well tonight. All right, 6 things. 1, it ends with Osha and Chimere holding hands, looking out into the distance. The Osha mirror. Does it end with Osha mirror ending? That would be the first one. I hate it. Santa hates it. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. I'm saying I hate it. 2, Vernestra meets with Yoda. Well, there's that picture of Vernestra's new outfit, right? It's the white high Senate robes. Yes. Yachty. Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah. there's the picture of Vernestra's High Senate robes. Could she be meeting with Yoda? Well, it's High Senate, not Jedi Council. So I would say probably not Vernestra meeting with Yoda. Plus, there was the talk of Yoda's not in the show. So let's see. Saber Smith. Oh, if that happens, I'm going to be, yeah, me too. Me too. I'm not into the Oshamir. Not it. All right, number 3. Closing shot. A broken lightsaber, similar to the first teaser poster. Number 3. I think no, because we already saw the broken lightsaber after the fight with Chimere. So I think that's probably new too. Number 4, a skulky Plagueis in a cave. Plagueis in a cave. Oh, that's possible. I think that's possible. Plagueis in a cave. Absolutely. Oh, Mike Porter, I saw your message. Very good, my friend. Very good. There are important things going on in the world for sure. So that was number 3, or I mean, where was I? Number 4. Plagueis in a cave. Number 5. Darth Ramage, and Chimere looking at a fire. Why would they bring Darth Ramage into this thing? Like, okay, I get that Darth Ramage exists. He's a dude, right? He's a dude. But at the same time, why? Like, why would we bring in Darth Ramage? They could. It'd be changing some lore on his time frame and stuff. Plus, he's a pretty obscure villain, right? Sith. Sure, EU readers know who, some EU readers know who he is. I think, hey, Mumbo Jimbo, thank you for the super chat. Oh, $5 super chat from Mumbo Jimbo says, I gotta go. Just stopping by to send some love your way, Santa. Thank you so much. Looking forward to the finale. I hope we all enjoy it. You know, this is my hope too, Mumbo Jimbo. I always want fans to love Star Wars. Star Wars fans to love Star Wars. And sometimes in this fandom, it seems like people are so divided in what they want, the things that they like, the things they enjoy, that dream of having more people love Star Wars may be dying. So we're too fractured. I really hope that we all just love the finale. I just don't think so. Plus, there's some things I've heard. I just don't know. So we're going through here. Darth Ramage and Chimere looking at a fire. Why Darth Ramage? That doesn't make sense to me necessarily. And lastly, Osha wears the helmet again. So we have Oshamir, Vernestra meets Yoda, broken lightsaber, skulky Plagueis in a cave, Darth Ramage, or Osha wearing the helmet. Of those, I would go with the Plagueis in a cave. Plagueis in a cave. That would be a good way to end the show. And that's where I would lean in, right? So we'll see. But this is the kind of thing that's out there. So we have the potential last shot of the finale. Of those, I go with Plagueis in a cave. I'm not ruling out any of the others. There's another one that's a game of 5 lies and a truth. It's the exact same kind of thing where there's all these things listed and you got to try to pick out which one of those is possible. And with a lot of these, it's really tough to pick because it seems to me like a lot of them are all no's. Like every single one. No, that's not happening. No, that's probably not happening either. Hello, Leia. Good to see you. Oh, happy Rey Palpatine Skywalker Day. Happy Rey Palpatine Skywalker Day to you too, my friend. Nathan says, I have a wild theory. Plagueis trained both Vernestra and Chimere. Ooh, Plagueis. Ooh, that'd be, boy, that's interesting. That's interesting. Oh my goodness. So I see, I'm just gonna end this. I know not everybody's necessarily had a chance here, but of 20 votes, we had 44%. The majority of you said yes, we'd like to see more seasons of the Acolyte. The second most popular is no. 34% said, no, I'm out. No thanks. All right. And then the last says, whatever. We do, we don't. That's good. I'm fine either way. So that's good. You guys, thanks so much for participating in that. We may have another poll here in a little bit. All right. So there's a bunch of leaks. There's a bunch of rumors. Some of these are more credible than others. Some are more plausible than others. But I want to show you guys the unused footage. We're going to talk about the unused footage. A lot of this could be spoilery. And then I'm going to give you some of my own theory. And my own theory comes from a bunch of stuff, and it's probably wrong. Probably wrong, but it's where my head is on it. I just share that with all of you, right? So tell you how I got there, right? So here we go. And those on the Zoom call yesterday, they heard some of that already, but let's get into the unused footage. I want to start with this because let's see. There's a better, what happened to the other view? Oh, there we go. There's the one I want. Oh, there you go. We're going to get into this. There's unused footage. We'll start off here, and I'm going to pause this along the way. And then I took screenshots as well. So let's just let this play. This is all footage, stills, and dialogue compiled. The space chase. You know, I thought the space chase was going to happen a couple episodes ago. And I was, Chillmonger says, an Ahsoka poll? I don't know. What are you thinking? So there's, hey, very good, the new Wave Lee. Good to see you. I thought the space chase was going to happen before the flashback episode, but we know the space chase is happening. This is an easy prediction. If you want a bonus question tonight and you want to get a point, you put space chase. Because this has been in the trailers all along. We're out of episodes, and here it is. So you can see Soul here piloting the ship, and he's chasing down the ship that May had previously flown, and that Osha and Chimere, or one or the other, both are in. I believe Osha and Chimere are in this vessel, and Soul is seeing them go. He's chasing them, right? Boom, away it goes, and he's following, right? So interesting thing here, and I just noticed this. So here's let's go back 1 second. There's Soul watches that. See, this seems to be something that came out of this bigger vessel here. It's got two engines on the back. Note the look of this, right? Just note the look of it. We'll get there more in a minute. All right, so off it goes. It's chasing the other vehicle. You can see that, right? It's chasing it into the ice rings. This appears to be Soul flying through those ice rings. You can see him flying there, right? And there's those two engines. He's chasing, right? Chasing. No, wait, I paused it here. This is not Soul. This is somebody else. See the helmet? This is like what Osha wore when she was out at the space campfire. Remember when she went on the hull of the ship and there was the campfire out there? And they were all sitting, roasting marshmallows and singing Kumbaya. You remember that scene? No. But you do remember that fire was out there and she had to go put it out, right? The space fire. She was out on the hull of the ship and she was wearing this helmet. This is somebody wearing a helmet. I think this is the ship that the other one came out of. And then this is the one that Soul is flying. And then in front of that is the one that Chimere and Osha are on. So this is probably May. This is probably Soul. And out here is Osha, right? That's what I'm thinking, right? So you see that. And then this is a big vessel. Oh, this one's big. It's not that little one, right? So I stopped it before and said, pay attention to the shape of this, right? It's got two little engines on it. It was sort of round, and it looked to come out of the other one. This is a much larger vessel. And this is the one that probably Osha and Chimera are on. This is huge in comparison. It's not that small one with the two engines on it that we see, I believe, Soul flying, right? So there's that. It's crashing. And then you see this vessel that probably Osha and Chimera is on. It's out of control and it's falling to the planet. All right. Then we get this scene, right? Yes, that was the Mechnik suit helmet. Yes. So the Mechnik helmet. You get this scene of Soul with his lightsaber inside a building. This is, I believe, the ruins of the Coven. Right, we're back where the Witch Coven was, where the big event happened. We've seen the flashbacks. We see Soul is going through this, the remains of this building, right? And there he goes. There we see Soul facing off outside of those ruins. He's got his lightsaber drawn there. And then there are these little images that were in a background of another promotional thing. One of the producers, editors of the show had on in the background. And then people said, whoa, wait, what's that back there? And they went and they pulled it out. And so that's what you see here. It's poor quality and it's on a smaller screen because it's in the background of a bigger promotional that they pulled out. So you can watch this and you can see in that background, here's Soul, right? There's Soul with May behind him. And this is Chimere. Pretty clearly, this is a male. This is not Osha, right? This would be Chimere with a lightsaber, Soul, and May, right? I believe that's the case. And you see Soul is walking up. His doesn't have his lightsaber drawn. Chimere seems to be going up to have a little chat with him, a little chatty chat, right? I suppose that could be Osha, but it just looks like a male to me, right? And we'll get back to it in a second because you see this figure here. Oh, and then we see this. There's this figure here. This is Osha. You saw May before. May is wearing that lighter colored outfit that she put on. This is definitely May back here, standing behind Soul. Right? She's not fighting Soul. She's standing back there behind. And then you see Chimere come up. And then you see Osha with a lightsaber drawn, looking towards Chimere. There's a couple of things that could be happening here. And I have to go back to a story that my friend Bespin Bulletin posted a long time ago, back in May. It's been some time ago, that says that there was a reshoot done in the Force with lightsabers, and Osha had a red lightsaber. This looks like a yellow lightsaber, but I suppose it could be red. They could do something in post-prod to make it look red, but it looks yellow to me. if it's red, it's whatever. And plus, this may not ever make it into the show, too, right? You got to see this was in the background. This was shot. They were doing things with it. It may never make the show. All of this, right? The stuff that was in these scenes. And is she facing off against Chimere, or is she looking across? So presumably Soul and May are over yonder, way over on the edge. And then Chimere and then her. Is he kind of standing back and she's looking across over at Soul saying, "You dirty dog, I know what you did. You killed my mother. Prepare to die." If you know the reference, you know the reference, right? Is that what she's saying? Right? I don't know. So there's that. There's some other blue screen scenes here. I think maybe we've seen the take from these blue screens. And then there's some other things here that they bring up. I think we've already seen some stuff here on the shore. This is probably when they're going out to the ship, Osha and Chimere. I'm not exactly sure. And then there's some miscellaneous scenes that we've probably already seen. So I'm just going to stop those. So there's some of the scenes, and I took stills just so we could see them, right? But here's that smaller ship, right? The round one with 2 engines on it, right? And you see Soul chasing down this vehicle. So if that's the round vehicle, if he's on this and then Chimere's on that, then who's in the big one, right? There's the, I believe that's Osha wearing the spacesuit. That'll be Soul, Chimere, and that'll be Osha crashing. I don't know. Something like that. I'm not exactly sure. So there's all the scenes, right? There's all that. There's some other things that I want to share with you all. And this is what is informing what I think is going to happen in the finale. So let me just close some of this. And it goes back to some interviews that we had before the show started and that Santa remembered, right? There's some things I remembered. So we'll get into the predictions in just a moment. By the way, if you're looking for the predictions, you'd like to participate, perhaps get your name on this wall of fame up here. You can find the link to this prediction form in the comments of this video. Plus, you can find it on Discord. I posted it in YouTube. I posted it on Patreon. I posted it in Twitter, X, and also Facebook. So wherever you do your social media, you can find it. But you can find it right here in the description of this video. But I want to show you a couple other things. Some quotes that I pulled some time ago, and let me bring them up here. All right, so here's the first one. First quote. Let me blow this up. This is a quote from Leslie Headland when she was talking. They were interviewing her about the show and whatnot. She said, "I don't want to get too personal, but the sister-sister dynamic is absolutely something I experienced in my life. I have a sister that's on the opposite end of the spectrum, I would say, in terms of her belief system. And there is a world where I understand that she thinks she's right, and a world where I think I'm right. And in a way, that's who we are. It feels unlikely that your whole belief system is going to change because one person doesn't like you. Then the other thing, again, this might be too personal, but it started as a story about 2 sisters because of my experience with that. All right. So there's been a complaint, right? There's been a complaint about this show that when it was first marketed, it was marketed as a story of the Sith. We're going to be a Sith-centric show. We're going to learn all about the Sith, the inner workings of the Sith, how the Sith operate, and what they do. No, it didn't say that. It did not say that. But it did say it was going to be Sith-centric. And I don't know that I would necessarily, looking back on the show, think of this show, The Acolyte, as Sith-centric. However, Chimere has been present in a majority of the show. If this is going to be a Sith-centric show, there's got to be more, right? KG says it could be more Sithy. I agree with you. I completely agree with you. So if that's the case, right? This is it was sold as a Sith-centric show. I think it's maybe comes short of that, and where people set their expectations. And I've criticized Lucasfilm before because of their marketing and their PR strategy. It's been really bad, and they keep doing this thing. What you don't want to do is set expectations of one thing and deliver something else. Whether that is setting expectations really high, like unachievably high, because different people are going to interpret things differently in their minds. And when they start seeing things play out on the screen, it's, oh, look, here's Gray. I got a nice little birthday gift from Gray. It was all wrapped in wrapping paper. I opened it, and there's some fantastic freeze-dried stuff in there. Some of it, I'll tell you what, my friends, freeze-dried Skittles. Do yourself a favor. Get yourself some freeze-dried Skittles. Oh my goodness, they're delicious. But she sends me some other stuff too. So, but so far, that's been the highlight of it. Thank you so much for that, Gray. So, if you're going to set expectations where you're going to meet them. So either you're setting them too high and people are in their own imaginations coming up with something that doesn't meet those expectations, or you say, we're going to have a Sith-centric show and then give them a show about sisters. Right? I show this again. Then the other thing, this might be true. It started as a story about two sisters because of my experience with that. Well, after seeing the show, it's definitely a show about two sisters, isn't it? So maybe we shouldn't have led with this as a show about the Sith. Or they didn't even say that. We shouldn't have said this is a Sith-centric show, right? Robert St. Clair says the sisters are technically one person, though. No, they're not. So they're even sisters. This is a story about personal struggle and the finding inner peace or lack thereof. I would say it is that. It is definitely finding inner peace. But it's also about the reconciliation of sisters. One seeing the world from the other's eyes. Walk a day in my shoes, and then you can see what I see, kind of thing. And they're clones, but they're very distinct, right? There was even the argument at the very beginning. It's a really good argument between the girls. Like the acting or don't. It's neither here nor there. The argument says, we are not the same, right? So Osha and May are arguing about going through this ceremony and their futures and involvement with the coven. And May says, well, of course we are. Of course we are the same. And she said, we're not the same person. And Osha then goes on a trek of her own to become a Jedi. They put it very plainly. Now, what are the conditions of their birth? We're told that we're going to find out some more secrets of the planet itself and this vergence that's in the Force that is all based on this planet, as well as the girl's birth. We're supposed to find out more about that tonight. So looking forward to that. It says the only way this could be a Sith show is if this is a Sith cult. Yeah, I don't think that, right, if the witch coven was a witch cult, we learn afterwards, so that when you go back and rewatch, you see the whole thing is Sith, right? In that way, that could be a Sith-centric show. Otherwise, it's not. If you started off saying this is a story of sisters who have gone divergent paths to find themselves, whatever, well, you could have got by with that. maybe interest would have been lower to begin with. But I got another quote to share with you, my friends. Oh, I've got another quote. And it informs what I am talking about when it comes down to my predictions about tonight's episode and what's going to happen in this show. So we saw the first quote about their sisters, right? Each divergent paths. Leslie and her youngest sister. And it's really a show about sisters. Right? That's where the show started. Let's get into this second quote. The second quote says, I have a very strained relationship with my youngest sister. And I feel like one of the reasons is that it's strained is that we both see each other as the bad guy. Sort of like Osha and May. Sort of like that. And if I was going to tell a story about bad guys, it seemed to me the place to start should be a familial relationship where one person is adamantly convinced of her correctness and the other person is also adamantly convinced of her correctness, each of them from their own point of view. Hedlund adds, we don't speak. I think this will be a surprise to her. Like this show will be a surprise to her, almost as if Osha and May are Leslie and her sister. Let's read some more. It says, Leslie wouldn't say anything more on the topic except to emphasize that she has a good relationship with her other sister, who helped make a visual presentation that Hedlund used to pitch the Acolyte to Lucasfilm. So older sister, youngest sister have this conflict. Each see themselves as right. Osha and May, they're twins. Each see each other as the bad guy, right? The other one's the bad guy. No, she is. No, you're wrong. She's the bad guy, right? Each the bad guy. Osha and May. And they've flipped roles, right? They're getting to go in the other. I don't need more reasons, Chillmonger. Fair enough, my friend. Fair enough. I love this guy, by the way. He's got a great channel. If you're not following Chillmonger, you should. You should. I love his channel. Disagree with him a lot on different things, but there's that. So there's that. Then lastly, I want to bring up, because it says here that this visual presentation that she had. So let's look at this visual presentation and this pitch to Lucasfilm, right? Her other sister helped her put together the pitch to Lucasfilm. So here we go. What is the pitch? It says it immediately communicated a kind of emotional entanglement in a high octane action. It was like, I think we understand what that is. And it started a conversation that led me to elevating her pitch, ultimately to Kathy Kennedy. Leslie is an amazing storyteller. And when she finally pitched to Kathy, everyone was crying. It was that kind of meeting. Now, some people remember that, right? That quote about it made them cry. So I'm put that in there for information, context around where my brain is on this whole thing. One, if this truly is a stand-in for, if Osha and May are stand-in for Leslie and her sister, some things I don't think you would see happen. One, I don't think you would see one of the characters being disappeared. I don't think you'd see one of them dying, at least not permanently, right? I could see a Kylo Ren situation where, like Rey died and then Kylo brought her back to life. I could see something like that maybe. But I don't think you end the show with Osha or May being dead, because that would mean Leslie or her sister's dead. I don't think you would see that. I also don't think you bring the two together into one being. There's a lot of people who have this thought, or there's a few people, I should say, have this thought that during this event, you're going to see them merge into one body, Osha and May, and become one entity, one being, and that being will continue on. I don't think, if these are stand-ins for Leslie and her sister, which I think it is. I just read you the quotes. I don't think that would happen. What would be such an emotional presentation at the end would lead them to tears? It might be a reconciliation of sisters that are currently not speaking. You know, Kathy and her sister, they're twins and they get along very well. And to think of not having a not speaking kind of relationship that they reconcile, that would be an emotionally tugging story, right? So I think Brian's right, Santa's prediction at the end of this show, we'll see Osha and May reconciled in that they're going to continue on this Coven planet where the Vergence in the Force is, right? Yeah. Her and her sister are not twins, though, so it wouldn't be a one-on-one anyway. That's true. It could also be where one of them dies, the other doesn't get a chance to apologize, and that would then be an emotional moment. I just don't see that happening because you remember she said, I think my sister will be surprised when she sees this. It would be like, hey, sister, I know we're not talking, but I wrote this story about us, how we see things differently. And in the end, you die. What? I live, you die. Have a good day. I don't think you do that. Nor do I think you say, hey, sister, you see this story? I wrote it for you. And at the end, you live and I die. I just don't see that being a conversation you have at Thanksgiving dinner, right? Sitting around the table. What did you think of the show, sis? I know we haven't talked in a long time, but I killed you. Right? That's not how it's going to go. That's just me. Right. They defeat Chimere. Possibly. Nathan says, I think they're trying to portray the Jedi as not as good, but gray, because I'm sure the Sith think they're not whole good. Remember, Palpatine saying good is a point of view. Yeah, Nathan, you're right. They have said that kind of thing. And Chimere even told Osha that there's different perspectives on using the Force. So we're going to get into our predictions, and I'll show you my predictions. I'm going to do one thing a little different this week, and you guys can complain, but this is what I'm going to do. We're going to get in here. All right. So here we go. Here are my predictions for the finale, right? Who am I? I'm Star Wars Santa. A Jedi will die, one or more. I do think this is yes. I think Soul is going to die. There's a Skywalker's Academy said Mog dies. I think that's possible too. If Mog, I told you guys a couple weeks ago how Mog seems very suspicious to me. He did a lot of questionable things. And if Vernestra finds out that Mog is a Sith infiltrator and Mog attacks Vernestra and they have a fight, she might kill him. Not be like, you're the Sith, you must die. No, it may come out and then he attacks her. She defends herself, kills Mog. So I think either Mog, her assistant guy, dies. Possibly also Soul dies. Right? I think that's the case. So I'm going to say yes. Right? Kay says, yeah, Sith wouldn't exist if they don't have issue with the Jedi. I still think this just portrays a few Jedi as making mistakes, not portraying the whole order as bad though. Right. I agree with you. I agree with you, Kay. Nathan says, I think Soul must die. I think Indara will help cover this up. No, you mean Vernestra. Vernestra will help cover it up. Oh, we've got a good theory on that. And Skywalker's Academy. came up with it yesterday, and I'm stealing it. I'm stealing it from Dale. His theory is that Vernestra is going to go back to the Senate and say, the bugs killed him. She's going to hide it. The bugs killed them all. It's not like they're going to get to do autopsies of the Jedi's bodies. They're not going to get to see what killed them. Vernestra just knows they died. She doesn't want to reveal that there was this thing going on. She can go back and say, that's a really harsh environment there. It's a miracle that Kilnaka lived so long, because that's not a place to live. And we got there. Not only was Kilnaka dead because of the inhabitants of the planet, like, these critters, but also the entire Jedi party that we sent out, they were also killed by these critters. And that's it. Right? That's how she hides it. She doesn't have to blame Soul or anything like that. She can just go right into that. I think that's brilliant. And either way it goes, Vernestra covers up, right? She's covering up by lying about what killed all the Jedi there, or she covers up by placing blame on the Soul. I know there's a guy I started following lately, really good channel. His channel's growing leaps and bounds. He's a great guy. It's a guy who loves Star Wars. Good channel. You guys should check it out if you love Star Wars. But he also, he thinks that Soul is going to get the blame. Not so sure. I'm not 100% convinced of that. I like Dale's theory. Vernestra goes back and says, the bugs killed him. The beast on the planet killed him. Either way, I think Vernestra covers it up, right? Either way. And I think Soul either dies or he is like mind wiped in some way where he can't. Something happens to Soul that he doesn't know the truth anymore. Matt says, in order for the bug cover up to work, Mog would have to be silenced because he knows the lightsaber killed them. Yeah, so Vernestra would have to tell Mog, you shut your dirty mouth. Right? And there's already the theory that Mog could be the Sith infiltrator. I made that argument before. So if Mog is the Sith infiltrator, he tells Vernestra, you must die. We can't let you know about the existence of the Sith. And he attacks her. And then she retaliates, kills him. She may be like, this whole thing's settled. We're just going to cover it up. And the bugs killed him. Either way, Vernestra covers it up. Mog either dies. I think there's a good chance Mog dies, and or Soul. So a Jedi will die. Yeah, I think it's almost certain. Almost certain. We visit more than one world or planet. Well, yeah, that's happening. 100% that's happening. We're either going to open with Vernestra still on the planet, where with Mog, where the bugs killed everybody, I'm kidding. Calm down. So it's where the cover up is, right? We're either back there and there's this confrontation and Vernestra ends up killing Mog and the cover up begins, or we're going to see Vernestra at some point for sure on Coruscant, right? She's got those white robes that we haven't seen, and it's on StarWars.com. We know she's going back to as Kay says, croissant, right? Kay's ready for lunch. No, is spelling correct? Croissant. Vernestra's hungry. She needs breakfast. Yeah, she's going back to Coruscant. We know that's happening. She's meeting with the Senate at some point. 100%. That's on StarWars.com. You can see it for yourself, right? So, yeah, more than one planet for sure. For sure. A droid referred to by name. What about Pip? What about Pip? I'm going with yes. Last week I said yes and it was no. The week before I said no and it was yes. I'm always wrong. So you guys base your answer on this because I'm always wrong. If I say yes, it's no. If I say no, it's yes. I say yes. So probably no mention of Pip tonight. We'll see more than one lightsaber color. And red / orange don't count. So if we see blue and yellow, yes. Green and yellow, green and blue, yes. And will we see multiple lightsaber colors tonight? Vernestra's light whip, purple. Soul's lightsaber, blue. Will we see others? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes. Yeah, Brian says OSHA will have a PIP reunion. Yeah. Matt says hopefully OSHA gets reunited with PIP, so it's a yes. And you know what I love is right after the episode, Matt Risman starts texting me the things he got wrong. or the things he got right. It's like, shoo, I was worried they weren't gonna this, right? So I get this message from Matt saying, I got my point, or daggone it, I lost it. It's so much fun. So much fun. We need a new Jedi we've never seen before in live action. Oh, this one's tricky. This one's tricky because we know Vernestra is going to the Senate. And we know that she's going to have a little chat with him. Will we see another Jedi we've not seen before in live action? I'm going to say no. I could change my mind on this. Yeah. Vernestra is going to go. If we see Yaddle or Yoda or, our Conehead guy, or, the guy with the really long neck, Poof. If we see one of those Jedi that are in the prequels who are really long-aged Jedi, they don't count. It has to be a new Jedi that we've never seen before. And I put in here, to meet means the character is introduced by someone by name, right? Meet my assistant, Mog, right? Speaks the line, is featured as a primary character. Background characters in the temple or among a large group like in the Senate don't count. Be like, oh, there's a Jedi. I don't know who it is, but that's new. Nope, doesn't count. So I say no. Someone's killed a non-Jedi. Oh, this one's tough. This one's tough. The issue here is I almost used Meg's term. I'm not going to do that. Right? What about our little furry friend? What about our furry friend? Is he going to live? The tracker? Would he die? There are rumors, in the pick the truth, which ones are lies? Those rumors that I talked about earlier. Yeah, Basil. Yeah, right. Some of you watch the show and you know what Meg said. Yeah, Basil. Basil gonna die? In those predictions things, or the truth and lie things, some of them say that he dies. Just be straight up with you. In those leaks that came out, where you got to pick which one's true or which ones are true, some of them have Basil dying quite abruptly. Does Basil live or die? Someone's killed. He dies. He lives. I'm going to say he lives. Basil lives. I'm going with Basil lives. If Basil dies, I'm going to be upset because I will have lost my point. Someone uses Star Wars slang. May the Force be with you. For light and life or whatever. I'm going to say yes, right? For light and life, Nerf Herder Wizard. I think the show is going to have a May the Force be with you in the finale. I'm going for that specifically. Someone uses the Force observably. There's going to be a fight. We know there's going to be a fight. During the fight, does somebody use the Force to push somebody? Right? There's going to be a lightsaber duel. That's happening for sure. Somebody going to use the Force observably? I'm going to say yes. A reference to a named Sith. Now, we've been holding off on this all season. I put this in here for this episode. We've been answering no every single episode. 7 episodes, 7 no's. And we've got a point every single week. Every single week. This week, ooh, it's a little trickier, my friends. Because it says it could be a reference to Damask Holdings, Hugo Damask, Plagueis, Darth Plagueis, Tenebrous, Rugus Gnome. That's Tenebrous' real name. Darth Bane, etc. Right? Do we get reference to another Sith by name, like, or if you see Plagueis in a cave, you know who Plagueis is. He's the moon, and he's got like Sith eyes or something like that. Or you see Chimere go back and say, I have news, my master. And you see a moon standing there. That's gonna be for sure Plagueis, right? So I'm saying yes. I've been holding off all season to say yes. I'm saying yes. A species or droid speaks in another language with subtitles. No, I don't think we're going to see that. And then lastly, make a guess of what you might see happen in this episode. So I've given you all of the information about what's in my noggin. I've told you why I think this is going to happen. And so here's my answer. I was going to hold this out, but I'm going for a 5-pointer this week. This is not leaked, absolutely not leaked. And it's in none of those pick a truth and a lie. I already told you the easy way to get the point, 100% way to get the point is put space chase, right? We see the space chase this week. Boom, you get your point. Easy, super easy. Logan says, I'm slow. I heard Darth Plagueis is the moon. Oh, that'd be like Chimere. Chimere, his name means moon in Arabic, I want to think. Is that right? Chimere, Arabic for moon? Something like that. Instead of moon. The U and O, right? Pretty much the same. Yeah. The moon, the moon, the moon, Mr. Moon, Moon. No. Moon, that guy. Yeah. I'm going with, so here's my answer. I'm going to put at the end that we see Osha and May. They, what's the word? There's what's the word? They come back together. They reconcile and stay to restart the coven. That's my guess. It's a 5-pointer. I wasn't going to tell you guys my 5-pointer, but I changed my mind right now. So here's my 5-point. Osha and May reconcile and stay to restart the coven. Maybe I'll take out the restart the coven out. They reconcile and stay on, what's the name of that planet? Do I even want to put that? Osha and May reconcile Brindok. Reconcile on Brindok. Chimere, no. I'm just going to leave that. Do I need more detail? I feel like I need more detail, but this is in none of the leaks. It's absolutely not. In fact, I'm contradicting in many ways what's been said in interviews. I'm contradicting what's been given us in the pick of truth from the lies. I am completely going out on my own here, saying that Scotty, no. No. You know, like the Bugs Bunny thing. No. No. I'm not having it. No. Hopefully, he says they fuse together like the ending of Dark Crystal from the Darth and to form Darth Plagueis. That's his prediction. No, Scotty. I told him earlier why that's not the case. It's a no. It's a no from Santa. It could happen, but I say no. I'll add to here. No. What is it? Oshamir. No, Oshamir. No Oshamir following the series, the finale. Okay, so there you go. No Osha Mir following the finale. So even at the beginning, if there's some Osha Mir kind of thing, right? Osha and Kymir are having a little romantic moment. Even if, and I hate that with a burning white hot passion. I hate that concept. Osha Mir, right? No. If that happens at the beginning, at the end, Osha and May reconcile on Brendok, and they say no to Kymir. They say no to Soul. They say no to the Jedi Order. No thanks. We're just going to stay here. So there you go. That's my 5-pointer. I'm probably wrong. As I said, I'm going exactly opposite of everything that's been leaked. I'm going the other direction from everything that's been given in a lot of these interviews. Right? I'm just no. Right? I'm going my own direction, and I gave you guys the evidence from these interviews with Leslie. I think this is a bit of a love letter to her sister, offering to reconcile. You know what? I don't see the world through your shoes, and you don't see the world through my shoes, but we're sisters, and I love you. I think that is the message that Leslie has built into this series. And that's how I see it ending. And there was the one rumor that said Osha and Kymir standing, holding hands, looking at the sunset. I could see almost an Osha and May holding hands underneath that willow tree thing, right? I could see something like that. I don't know. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. They become a Biff, becoming tenebrous, Brian. Mother Coral possessed Kymir and has been directing May's revenge. Oh, this is a good point, Brian. There was, for a long time, I was thinking that we were going to see Mother Coral. She survived, no body, no death, and Leslie even said that in an interview: no body, no death. But then she did a Zoom meeting with a bunch of content creators where they asked questions, pre-submitted questions, and she answered them. Mother Coral is not in the finale. She just said it. Nope, she's not in the finale. But she could show up again later because no body, no death. No Mother Coral in the finale. So don't put that in your guess. Do like Matt Risman. Put Space Chase. You get your point. Logan asks, episode ends on a cliffhanger. To some degree, you could say yes, in that, there's something else I need to touch base on. If they introduce, and I suspect they will, Plagueis in a cave, or Plagueis in some manner. I told Matt Risman this morning, I could even see when Vernestra goes to the Senate to hide what happened on Brendok, or the other planet. What happened on that other planet? When she goes to hide that, she could very well run across Hugo Damask there in the halls of the Senate, because he was kind of messing around with politicians. And so we could see a reference to Hugo Damask in the hallways. We could just see like him pass by and somebody goes, "Greetings, Mr. Damask," something like that. I could see that happening. Would you count that as a cliffhanger? I would say no. Otherwise, no, I don't think this is a cliffhanger, not like the Ahsoka series, where it demands a season 2, but I think it will end with the possibility of a season 2. Aggressively Relaxing says, "I love it, Santa. Contrarians unite." On second thought, never mind. Right? How can you be a contrarian and agree with somebody? Right? Can't do it. Can't do it. Just leak Osha and May don't reconcile. Star Wars Santa loses 5 points. Oh, again, you're just poking the bear. And Kieran likes to do that. He likes to poke the bear. Coral went to cry on Dara, on Dathomir. Coral, still sus. Yeah, I agree, KG. I 100% believe she's still sus. Yeah, for sure. Brian said, oh no, need to change it. I already know I'm going to be salty during this episode. Boy, some of you know, I haven't seen you in the chat, but some of my friends here know I have been salty all morning. I've been in a mood. I've been in grumpy old man mode all morning. There's a list of things I'm unhappy about. Potential for this finale to just annoy the ever-living daylights out of me, right? Osha Mir, if that happens, I'm going to be madder than a hornet, and I'm going to be very upset. And just the prospect that Osha Mir will be in the finale, or how the series ends, annoys me. It makes me mad. There's some other things that have me save it for Festivus. I haven't seen anybody else comment on where you killed my mother, prepare to die. Except you killed my father, prepared to die, right? My name is Ingo Montoya. You killed my father, prepared to die, right? I want Osha to say, you killed my mother. My name is Osha, whatever. You killed my mother. Prepare to die. I want that. How great would that be? Oh, my goodness. No, but I think Santa tomorrow, if Osha Mir happens, you're not kidding. Osha Anasea. My name is Osha Anasea. You killed my mother. Prepare to die. She needs to do it with a Spanish accent too. I mean, if you're gonna do it, let's do it right. Let's Logan. And then Soul replies back, no, Osha. I am your mother. You guys are great. Oh, David Harewood. There's a lot of speculation. David Harewood, we know he's in the episode in this series, and he said for a small role. There was speculation for a very long time that he is going to be Plagueis, or perhaps Tenebris. Plagueis or Tenebris. But Meg came up with a very solid theory, that he very well could be Fitz. Unacceptable. This is something that I learned about you just now. I'm not having it. Look, the time is now. You've been meaning to watch it. What you mean to say is, I will watch it now. You're home from work. You're just finishing the stream. You're going to have dinner. You're going to watch Princess Bride. KG, what is going on? What? Come on, KG, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. David Harewood, small role. Is that role Plagueis Tenebris? But Meg reported on it and said that Dale, you're lying. Dale, you have to be lying. Skywalker's Academy, all of you are trolling me now. You're trolling me. There's no way that all of you have not seen Princess Bride. I'm not having it. That's not true. It's impossible. Oh my goodness. David Harewood, Meg, put out that he very well could be a high-ranking Senate official. She's been reporting to the Senate throughout the season, and it very well could be that he is the senator. He's in charge of some Senate committee. Inconceivable. Scotty, you're right. It's inconceivable. He could very well be the senator, right? It very well could be the senator. Or he could be the new chancellor of the Senate. And when Vernestra goes back to report to the Senate, she's meeting with a Senate high committee. It could just be David Harewood. Think of what we saw with, oh shoot, I just texted to Matt earlier this morning. Think of, Matt, what did I say this morning? What did I say? Hera. I think, you know how Hera in the Ahsoka series had to go back and report to that Senate council, and they were going to strip her of her generalship and all that, kick her out. And I think that Vernestra could be meeting with a Senate committee, much like Hera met with a Senate committee. And David Harewood is leading that Senate committee. Or he's the chancellor. Rumors are he could be the chancellor. So let's just say that, right? So let me get caught up. I'm putting all of you on the naughty list today. It's true. You know, just for that, I'm putting you on the naughty list because you haven't seen The Princess Bride. You know, if you haven't seen The Princess Bride and you're my age or close, naughty list. Even my children have been force-fed. My children have seen The Princess Bride because I've made them watch it when they were kids, right? You guys are kidding me. Yes. Fitz says, I'm reading Star Wars Bloodline, and it looks like they'll be having a first senator rather than a chancellor. Yeah, it very well could be that. Vernestra, hologram, someone who mentioned a senator of a committee. I think his name was Red. Yes, that's who Dave Harewood could be playing that, right? Very well could be. But Mike says he saw Princess Bride in a theater. Yeah. What streaming service is it on? I don't know. Star Wars Politics. I just watched it recently again. I want to think I saw it on Disney Plus or Hulu. I want to think I saw it on Hulu. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can look it up. I'm not sure. Flick. Y'all have some explaining to do. That's true. They definitely have some explaining to do. Aggressively relaxed. It says, I don't take the naughty list lightly, but I have to agree with Santa in the case of The Princess Bride. Very good. Thank you for that. I saw TV a ways back when I was younger, right? Let's see. I saw, if you saw Deadpool 2 Christmas version, then you had to have seen Princess Bride. All right, we have a Mike Porter dad joke to wrap up the day, and I see Mike Porter DM me too. What'd you send me? Oh, he sent me a good dad joke for tomorrow. Now, I like the dad joke for today. I like today's dad joke. Says, what do you call it when Jedi grill masters are fighting Sith grill masters? If you're going to have a cook-off, Sith versus Jedi, what do you call that cook-off? What do you call that competition? The competition between Jedi and Sith as they're having a grill cook-off. What do you call it? Char Wars. Char Wars. Thank you for that, Mike Porter. That's fantastic. Thank you for the dad joke today. Logan says, put me on the naughty list if you must. But I think The Princess Bride is overrated, borderline bad. Logan, you're going to have to go in timeout. until you see the error of your ways. You need to repent. Logan, my goodness, of course it's bad. That's the point. Of course it is. That's the whole point of it. It's terrible, but it's also hilarious. It's got some of the most repeatable lines of all. Um, it's a great show. All right, and I've been sharing our Wall of Fame. We do have a number of season leaderboard folks here. It's Dale, Skywalker's Academy, Star Wars Politics, Baymax, and Matt Risman. Matt Risman is just 4 points ahead of me. So here's the thing. If I get the 5-pointer and we're tied, I can pass Matt Risman by 1 point. Because if he goes for 1 and he's going with the gimme, he's going to get that point. But if we match on the others and I get the 5-point bonus, then I can knock Matt Risman right off of this season leaderboard. It could happen. It could. No, probably not. I'm probably going to get it wrong. I'll get 0. Matt will get 1. He'll be 5 points up on me at least. But there's the season leaderboard. And you know what happens if you beat Santa for the entire season? And after tonight, we're going to know our winners. Tomorrow, when we do the breakdown rewatch, you can win some Star Wars Santa merch. You can win a T-shirt like what I have on, or there's other merch. With Baymax, he had a Star Wars Santa water bottle, one of these metal water bottles, and you know what he did? He left it on the airplane. He left it on the plane, so he's got to win again so he can get a new one. Fitz hasn't seen Elf either. Oh my goodness, what's wrong with you? Or you can get yourself a mug. You can get a hoodie. There's all kinds of Star Wars Santa merch available on the merch store. The link to the merch store is in the description here. But you know what? If you win the season leaderboard, Santa buys the merch and has it shipped to you. You don't have to pay for it. It all comes from me. KG won once. She got some Star Wars Santa merch. Dale has won before. He has Star Wars Santa merch. Let's be honest. When this show's over, we all win. Well, Scotty, only from the perspective of, KG says, I'll go to the baggage store and look for it for you, Baymax. Lost and found. Get a hoodie. You'll see how popular Santa is. Sabersmith has a hoodie. That's right. So you guys, you can win some Star Wars Santa merch. The thing that frustrates me most is the division in this fandom. And I said earlier at the very first part of the show, I'm very much in favor of seeing a season 2, season 3 of this show. I just don't know. I just don't know that that's going to happen. And it's just this fandom. We all have different tastes and likes and dislikes. We all have different aspirations for what we want to see in our Star Wars. Skeleton Crew's coming later this year. You think that'll heal the fandom? No, I don't. No, I don't. In fact, I think it could get worse. I think it could get worse. We could very well see people doing the meme. We could see it. We could see people really tearing into it, and it could be really bad. John Watts to Leslie Headland, hold my beer, right? You think Acolyte was divisive? You think Acolyte was bad? Hold my beer, right? Oh boy, that's what I'm afraid of. So I'm just telling you guys, that's my fear. Tomorrow we'll do our breakdown and review of the show. Thursday, I would like to do a live stream, a community live stream where the supporters of the channel can call in and talk about the Acolyte as a season. What was good? What was bad? What worked? What didn't? Would you like to see another season? Or are you happy it's over to never see it ever again? Like, where are you on it? What were your highs and lows for the season? So channel supporters will be able to come in, our patrons and YouTube members. And then that it's going to be a little bit late. I have a presentation I have to do for work on Thursday. So that'll be Thursday. We'll do our community live stream. And then Friday, if there's news to report, we'll have a news of the week. Starting next week, Dale says, bring back the Muppet Show. Oh, yeah, we had good fun with that too. But anything is possible, right? Anything's possible. I hope this finale is great, and I hope the fandom come together. As KG says, nah, maybe not until Kathy Kennedy retires. There's a huge thing going on, so that's it. So Friday, Scotty says, the later the better for me. I'm calling in. Okay, very good, Scotty. It'll have to be later because I've got a presentation for work. Then next week, I'm going to get right back into recording videos for Patreon, doing our review of the Fate of the Jedi series. So you guys, I hope that tonight's episode is a banger. I hope it's fantastic and that people who have hated the whole show will at least like the finale. And I hope all of us will be able to come together just super happy about this finale. I suspect that won't be the deal. Probably not even for Santa, right? But we'll see. So you guys have a good evening. Enjoy the episode, and we'll see you tomorrow. Until then, my friends, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and may the Force be with you always. Bye-bye.